What do you feel when you see these pictures? Scared? Hideous? Eldritch? Are you scared? Or nothing? Whatever it is, you can't deny that. The objects in those pictures bring a very difficult feeling. For me, when I see those pictures, I don't feel afraid or nervous. But I certainly don't feel comfortable. Hello, it's me again. Today, we're going to learn about Uncanny Valley, a phenomenon that has recently become a hot topic, especially on social media. Let's analyze why many people find Uncanny Valley extremely scary, but at the same time, very mysterious and interesting. The term Uncanny Valley has been around for a long time, but it wasn't created until recently. As far as I know, this term was created in the 1970s by Masahiro Mori, a professor at Tokyo University of Technology. Mori used the term Uncanny Valley to describe his feeling. When looking at robots that look extremely human-like, extremely real, but not to the point of being able to identify with a real human. He said that when robots start to have characteristics, and characteristics like humans, such as skin, hair, eyes, facial expressions, they can become more attractive, for example, like the Wall-E robot. But when they become too human-like to some extent, they can start to be very scary. The story of Uncanny Valley says that if an object is not human, but becomes more and more human-like, it will receive a positive and strong reaction from its observers. However, when this object reaches a certain level of human-like, people will become terrified of it. The fall into a rising pattern creates a depression, bringing its mysterious name. A typical example is the movie The Polar Express, a 3D animated movie about Christmas, about a boy who boarded a magical ship to the Arctic and met Santa Claus. Contrary to the very calm and warm story, many people after watching this movie said that the characters in the movie look very strange. Similar opinions also occurred about the movies Shrek and Cats. It's not that they denied the 3D technology of the movie, or anything, but the opposite. Because of those characters, although fake, but they are made to human-like, they look like humans, but not completely, creating an uncomfortable feeling that Uncanny Valley brings. We don't feel scared at all, because maybe there's nothing to be afraid of here. But we don't feel safe either, because we know that something is wrong. It's a creepy feeling, like when we look at someone wearing a mask. A mask is a thing that covers the face, a part used to communicate with humans, so when we are covered by a mask, we won't know what the person behind us is. Do they have bad intentions or not? If we see a scary man running towards us with a knife, we will be scared. But if we see a man standing alone in a dark corner, doing nothing, we will be terrified. That man doesn't have any specific action that threatens us. So in our nervous system, there will be opposite signals, creating an uncomfortable feeling of Uncanny Valley. Masahiro Mori said this in an interview. Why do we feel scared and frightened? Is it something important to humans? I've never thought about it, but I'm sure it's a part of our self-defense mechanism. The feeling of fear can be a part of our instinct to protect us from the dangers around us, rather than the dangers far away. The dangerous things around us can be the dead body, strange creatures, other species that we never know about, but are very close. The dangerous things far away can be storms or floods. But why do we feel scared of things like clown or monsters? Why are the characters with big round eyes and white skin considered adorable? There's a creepypasta story called Genetic Memory. Have talked about this topic before. The classic monsters like the xenomorph, the pyramid head in Silent Hill, and other weird creatures have the same characteristics. White skin, black eyes, a weird face and a small teeth. These characters are the reason for fear and hideous. These characteristics are deeply imprinted in the memory of humans. There are many things that can make humans feel scared of their instincts. Fear is natural. Nothing creates fear. The fear from the past When humans are afraid of the lightning, because it can burn down houses, storms, loud noises, wild animals can hide in the darkness. The question you need to ask yourself is, what happened in a forgotten story of the human race before the beginning of history that can affect the human race and give the monster a primal fear? When facing creatures in the darkness, small teeth and weird faces, be careful out there. The meaning of this story is that in the distant past and the early days of humans, some creatures or phenomena made humans feel scared. This fear is so big that it is imprinted in the genes of all humans and becomes a primal fear that when we only come into contact with such things or phenomena, we will immediately feel scared. There are some explanations about why people have to react in a strange way, but there is no clear consensus. Some theories say that this is a biological phenomenon, while other theories say that there are also explanations about the cultural aspect. Here are some factors that may be related to this phenomenon. The ambiguity. A 2016 article says that the feeling of fear is usually caused by the feeling of ambiguity. When we see things close to humans, it will create an uncomfortable tension. Such effects are sometimes exploited to increase the horror or terror in the film. For example, horror films often convey the characteristics of humans and non-human entities, like Annabelle and Pennywise, to scare the audience. The characteristics do not match, but it also indicates that people have a strange tendency to feel weird when the elements that do not go together are combined. For example, a 2011 article shows that, although people do not feel weird by robots with the voice of robots, or people with the voice of humans, they feel scared by robots with the voice of humans. The inconsistency. Even in highly realistic characters, people still have the ability to discover the smallest contradictions in a robot or animated character. Even the extremely small differences can make a character from vivid to strange. One of the original examples of Mori is a robot character who is suddenly considered difficult and scary when his smile is a little slow. Survival reaction. Mori and others say that Uncanny Valley is a progressive reaction that brings a sense of evil to potential threats about death and disease. Because when you meet something like a human, but not exactly like, it can cause a reaction, like when a human meets something that is dead or about to die. Uncertainty. Theories also say that Uncanny Valley can exist in cases where it is difficult to determine what kind of entity it is, including whether that character is a real person or just a three-dimensional model created by a computer. In this case, there is a conflict between the belief that an entity is a human and the belief that it is not a human. The observer stands between the line of belief and disbelief that this entity is a human or not. No, it looks very real, enough to almost trick you to think that it is a living entity like a human, but there are also some unrealistic points that lead to contradictions in your thinking about how a person really behaves. It makes you feel threatened, contradicting to go crazy. When robots become more and more important in everyday life, researchers and robot designers will have to care about finding ways to create robots that do not get stuck in Uncanny Valley. This may be related to making robot devices more practical so that they can get out of Uncanny Valley and be more comfortable. Researchers have also proposed some design principles that can help filmmakers and robots not create Uncanny Valley. These include not combining human proportions with unrealistic structures, not mixing unrealistic factors with humans, ensuring that behaviors, appearances, and actions are not conflicted. Another simpler approach is creating tools or devices that do not reflect human shapes. In an interview with Wired, Mori said that, although humans can overcome Uncanny Valley in the future and create robots that look like humans, that no one can tell apart, that is still not right. Instead, he supports the idea that the reality of robots should only stop before they fall into Uncanny Valley. Like and subscribe if you like my content. Thank you.